Hi, this is Rob Roark with We the People show on SMTX.TV, and I'm here with Donna Campbell. And Donna ran on the Republican ticket against Lloyd Doggett in CD 25, and you ran what can be called a Tea Party grassroots campaign, but I know you weren't Tea Party, but you just had a lot of that momentum and a lot of that energy.
We did.
And a lot of what we try to do is to get people involved locally in the community. And what were some of the things that stood out? You know, you did the best of any Republican candidate against Lloyd Doggett yet.
Yes.
So, you know, there were some things that were going on with people getting involved. And what were some of the things that you can give to our listeners on ways that they can get involved in order to help out in the community and then to be ready for when the race comes next time?
You know, we did have a very strong grassroots movement that really propelled us forward. I've never run before for anything. So I came from obscurity, and we did run a very close, tight race. We held our integrity. We didn't run a negative campaign. And any group I was in front of or our volunteers, I stress that we are about issues, not about character assassination in any way. Because what America needs is back to our grassroots, if you will, what our founding fathers intended, and the original intent, if you will. And our base grew, not necessarily a Republican base, our base grew with some Democrats, independents, people defined as just American patriots, Republicans, who had an interest in a limited government, expanding our personal freedoms, more state rights, security more of our state sovereignty. And that's what I believe pulled us all together, because we all had like concerns. So while, yes, I'm a Tea Party constituent or member, and my opponent painted me as an extremist for that. And my response was, you know, if I'm an extremist because I want freedoms for we the people, then what are you who are voting for bigger government and less personal freedoms? You know, who's really the extremist here? So I am an American patriot. And whether that's defined as Republican or independent, Democrat, you know, I'm best described more as a conservative, one who promotes limited government, you know, private enterprise, a capitalist society compared to a socialist society. And our base grew because of people who are right-minded. So it wasn't more of a partisan separation as much as it was American patriots coming together, we the people coming together. And what people can do, you said a little bit about that, what people can do is actually look at their own network and bring people together that have the same still desire. The mission hasn't changed. No, I didn't win. If I was a hand grenade, getting close would work. But we missed. And I have to not be overconfident, and we have to get out our base, our grassroots base.
So being positive, getting involved in the community, involving your network and building that network is important. And yeah, I also wanted to share with you, I had a story from someone that had said that they got a call from Dr. Campbell. And they thought, wait a minute, this was early on in the campaign. And they said, what is she calling on? And, well, wait a minute, where are we calling from? And they're calling from the hospital. And they said that you had helped with their mother. And they said, you know, that was so neat that it wasn't as a politician, that they got to know you as a caring person, and they got to talk with the nurses that worked with you and got to really get a good sense. And I thought, you know, that's what is really important, is that you're getting a call not as a politician asking for a vote, but to help with the family, and you know, and that's the community. And I thought, you know, that's neat.
Thank you.
So
we do have stories like that, and you know, it really, I feel like our U.S. congressman should work should keep their job while they have that position. Granted, it can't be full-time, full steam ahead in your, private job or your professional job when you are, a sitting representative, but when you're able to still work, you do have a tie with us, and you don't lose your, your grounding, if you will. And yeah, we are in service, and my profession is in service to people as a physician. So that's easy. That's an easy part.
Well, thank you for your
story.
Well, I wanted to share it with you, but thank you for your service, and that's what our show is about. So I appreciate you spending a few minutes with us tonight.
Well,
wish you the best of luck, and we won't ask you the hard questions on that tonight. But thank you very much. Oh, there's going to be more. So,
we need the base to still come for me now. You know what I mean? Come out now and give me support now. Visit my website. Visit me on Facebook at just drdonna.com, so that, or drdonnaforcongress.com. Let me make sure I stick that on there, because we don't know where redistricting will leave our race, but wherever it is, I need people. I'm still in it to win, and still in it for America. Our mission hadn't changed.
Well, Dr. Campbell, thank you very much for your time tonight. This is Rob Roark with We the People, SMTX TV. Thank you very much. Hi, Rob Roark with We the People, SMTX TV. I'm here with Brian McAuliffe and Sean Blakely, and both of these gentlemen worked diligently with the Donna Campbell campaign. I don't know whether diligence is the word, but you guys worked your keisters off, for one thing, to as part of a grassroots activism to get Donna Campbell into CD25. Now, I know Steve Monasteri here tonight talked about redistricting efforts, and I know that Donna is going to be running again. What are some of your thoughts on what is going to need to take place with that redistricting, and what can the Republican Party do to help?
Well, actually, I don't think we can depend upon redistricting. The reality of the situation is that Houston and Dallas, the people that live in those areas, much larger population than the district that we live in, and they're going to be trying to get more conservative districts in those areas, carve things out for more congressmen. So we can't depend upon that. What we need to do is, one of the things that was a failure for us is here in Hays County, we only got 49% of the registered voters out to vote. And we need to do a better job of educating voters of why they need to turn out to vote, that there's a real difference between if they just allow things to continue as is, as opposed to what our agenda is, and that's getting the country back on a sound financial grounds and also following the Constitution. Actually, if we follow the Constitution, we'd be on a sound financial grounds. And so we need to educate those voters and let them realize what the real difference is, and that their vote does count. One of the things more important to me than redistricting is voter ID, because I know a lot of people feel like it doesn't matter how I vote because the elections are rigged, and we need to give them confidence that if they vote, their vote will count. It won't be neutralized by some illegal vote that took place.
And I know, Sean, you asked Steve Monasteri about the rural versus the city, and about not wanting to give up that territory, and I think that kind of goes with what you said, is that we can't rely on the redistricting. But what are some of the things that we can do to target into the from what we've learned from the rural areas that you guys think that we can do at the grassroots level in the urban areas?
I think one of the big things, and what we did here in San Marcos, was we went ahead and went to those neighborhoods where we were told we're not going to get Republican voters there. So we went ahead and went into, and here in San Marcos, some of the more Hispanic neighborhoods that are traditionally Democrat. But our goal, what I used to tell the workers was, when we were going into these neighborhoods, don't expect a lot of positive response. And on some of them, don't expect them to commit to you, but talk to them. A lot of them will talk to us. And my belief is we have to go to these neighborhoods repeatedly, election cycle after election cycle. We've got to talk to the people one-on-one, like we're doing here tonight. And the reason is because we keep going in, we keep going in, we keep going in. Eventually people are going to be like, these guys are here every election cycle, you know, what is with these crazy Republicans? And eventually they start listening to you. You know, the Democrats didn't just win these constituency groups overnight. They kept going to their meetings. They kept showing up in their neighborhoods to the point now where they can take them for granted. They can just throw up a couple signs on a corner and they've got that neighborhood. We don't ever want to take people for granted. We've got to keep going in and you talk to the people. I believe our values and our beliefs are superior. And so therefore I think if we go in and talk to people and engage them, and that's part of what the chairman said tonight, we need to engage their groups and we need to engage them. And until the Republican Party is willing to engage every group, we're going to continue to lose groups. And you look at the demographics of the future growth in Texas, it's going to be urban. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be urban, and we cannot allow the urban growth to fall into Democratic hands or liberal hands, however you want to look at it. And I'm not even looking at it as Republican versus Democrat anymore. I'm really looking at it as conservative, liberty-minded versus liberal, tyranny-minded. And that's just really how I see it. And I think that if we lose these groups, you know, we lose the future elections, and what we've done in 2010, what we may do in 2012 just won't matter anymore.
Well, gentlemen, good luck in the next 2 years, because you know, the next race is ahead. And thank you for all you've done, and thanks for your comments tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.